Greetings. Today I would like to talk about a famous historical figure. Her name was Molly Pitcher. She is a Revolutionary War heroine. However, Molly Pitcher was not the real name of the individual. There's been a lot of debate on who actually was Molly Pitcher. And there have been 3 females that have been identified in the historical debate on who Molly actually was. The first one was, her name was Mary Ludwig Hayes Macaulay. Mary Ludwig Hayes was married to William Hayes. He was an artilleryman during the Battle of Monmouth, and during that battle he had collapsed. There's a little bit of debate on whether or not he collapsed of heat exhaustion or if he actually was injured. However, Molly, his wife, was there, and she had been known of her, or Mary had been known of her bravery in the battlefield because she was bringing water to all the artillerymen. After her husband collapsed, she actually took up his duties of firing the cannon. And according to historian James Kirby Martin, that the only person that recognized her in writing was a man by the name of Joseph, who was part of the regiment as well. The second person is Margaret Corbin. Margaret Corbin, her story was a lot like Mary Ludwig Hayes, with the exception of how she became known as Molly Pitcher. They both served, their husbands both served in the same regiment. Margaret, was actually, her story began at the Battle of Fort Washington. Her story more along the lines came about as her husband was killed in the battle for Fort Washington, and she took up and continued fighting firing her husband's cannon during that battle, and continued to fire until she herself was injured and had to be taken to a field hospital. Finally, the last person that has been identified as a possible person that Molly Pitcher was Deborah Sampson. And according to Emily Type, she labeled her the 3rd candidate. A little bit different between Mary Ludwig Hayes and Margaret Corbin. Deborah Sampson was actually a woman that had dressed as a man to enlist in the army. The Army regiment that she actually enlisted into was the 4th Massachusetts Regiment, and because of her high voice and that she was disguised as a man, that the other individuals in the regiment had labeled her Molly. Though there have been 3 women that have been attached to this name of Molly Pitcher, one thing can be said for certain is that Molly Pitcher did become the heroine of the American Revolution, and it brought to light an important aspect that a lot of times get overlooked, and that's the woman's role during the Revolutionary War. Thank you.